the broadcast manager of the EFL. Looking forward to calling this one from the beautiful, beautiful suburb of Templestowe, BWS. Hello, Ben Warren-Smith.
Good afternoon to you, Ben Waterworth. It's great to be out here at Templestowe Reserve today. It's been a few years since the media team's been out here to call a game, and we're wrapped with the position we've got out here. The weather's held up. It was a little bit disappointing to get up this morning, gents, about the fact of how windy it is today, and it's still blowing an absolute gale out there. We saw that it was a really difficult match for teams to adjust to, not only on Thursday with the wind blowing across the ground, but also with the wind out at the Eastern Lions game at Fair Park last week. So I'm not too sure if the wind's going to have much of an impact today, Peter Baird. It looks pretty blustery out there. It could be a bit of turnover football this afternoon that we might see.
Yeah, I reckon it might be. It's going to be really critical to make sure you hit your targets, particularly as you come out of defence, and you need to adjust for that wind. And just looking out here, it's probably a 2 to 3 goal wind blowing towards the scoreboard end of Templestowe Reserve. I'm not quite too sure whether or not it's going to have a huge effect on the scoring. My favourite one end in particular, it seems to be blowing from one corner of the ground directly diagonally across the ground to the other. So it's definitely going to favour that scoreboard end. But
Rams tip this afternoon.
I'm going to go Templestowe today, guys. Home ground advantage, I think, will get them over the line.
Well, we're underway out here at Templestowe Reserve. Brad Henderson, you can take us away, mate.
Thanks very much, BWS, as the first quarter does get underway, and it is Wantirna South kicking to the scoreboard end of the ground. They chain of handballs finishes up in the hands of Harkness, and he's a lovely left foot kick usually, and this is no exception. Got it to Hutchinson, neat pass to Leggett, and Leggett gets a bit of a shove in the back from Sayanides, but it wasn't too late according to the umpire. And Taylor Leggett will go back, and probably this will test him, this kick. In fact, he doesn't want to have a shot. He goes for the pass. Beautiful pass. It hit Edgecombe, lace out on the chest, and it just bounced off the big chest of Scott Edgecombe. He'll be disappointed with that. He's usually a terrific mark, and that he won't get too many more easier than that one. But Wantirna South are able to keep it inside their forward 50. But Ohm couldn't take the mark, shuffled it out to Leggett. Put his head over the footy, and he's rewarded with a free kick.
Oh, a bit dubious there. He's fancy boots. He's getting amongst it early, Pete.
He did. He went into the pack. He came flying out of the pack there holding his head. I didn't see what the free kick was actually for, but I presume there may have been some high contact in there the umpire had seen.
A little love tap, maybe.
Quite possibly.
Well, he did put his head over, and
lands in the arms of Jameson across centre half forward, but the umpire said, well, time hadn't been blown back on, so the ball will come back towards the half-back line. Kick up towards the wing position is good. It's trapped this time by Teakle. He balks one, goes inside forward 50. The kick goes now in towards the forward pocket. The big high flyers there. The Dockers are going to have the numbers at the back, but it's stolen by Walker. Snap around the body by Walker. Pushed it to the right-hand side. It was nearly marked, in fact. It may have been marked by Bedome. He's got players all alone in the goal square. Everybody stopped, and Scott Edgecombe ran in and kicked the easiest of goals. And that's the first major of the day on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. And it is Wantirna South moving on to 1-1-7. They've got all the scores on the board. Templestowe yet to score.
Really liked that play then from Daniel Bedome as well. He worked hard, floating back to try and take that mark on the last line before the ball went through.
Underneath it, does well. Teakle bursts his way through. Somehow managed to find Ransom with the kick. Callum Ransom's long searching kick to the wing, but it's marked there nicely by Millard. And Millard swings onto that trusty left foot, hits Ryan Bain on the chest. Bit of a fumble, but he's got time to steady. Bain, long kick to full forward, but it's all Teakle and Wantirna South back there. The mark safely held, and the Devils will come away once again. It's in the back pocket with Leggett. And Leggett in those very distinctive yellow boots, weighs up his options, banks the kick to half back. Underneath it was Quinn, so good in that situation. Alistair Quinn does stand tall, and he's got terrific hands. Bit of a floating kick though, didn't really favour his teammate. Teakle did well for Wantirna South. Prestigiacomo now takes possession, lovely kick. Templestowe building now through Bain, got it from Francis. Bain's high left foot kick drifts across the face of goal. Still there for Templestowe. Davies does well, but he was under a lot of pressure. Shoveled it out to Batsanis. Little kick into pretty heavy traffic, and Wantirna South dodging a bit of a bullet there. They've managed to force a ball up, and at this stage it's still just 1-1 on the board for Wantirna South. Templestowe yet to score. Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So about 45 metres out from the Dockers goal line, the umpire throws it up now. Yeah, went straight through Young's hands. The ball hits the deck. We'll have another restart. So, only gone 6.5 minutes in this quarter, Pete. Any feelings so far?
Wantirna South just look a little bit more composed in the way they're able to use the ball. I feel Templestowe are overusing it at times and running themselves into trouble with that extra handball or kick that's probably not required.
Well, Fieschi went up in the ruck. He got the knockdown. That was good play. They kicked it towards the goals, and that was a ripper kick by Nick Batsana. Snap around the body, and Templestowe got the goal that they were after, and they're only 1 point behind now as we cross the 7-minute mark on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It is Wantirna South, a 1-1-7, Templestowe, a 1 straight goal.
That was fantastic ruck work then to hit Batsanis out of a ball up deep in the forward line. They're still trying to pick that. I think it might have been Alistair Quinn there that got his hands on it. No, it looks like it was Big Joe Fesci that did the ruck work there, but able to hit Batsanis in congestion there and snap truly from that deep in that forward pocket. It's a really good reply then from Templestowe.
So back in the middle once more, the quick reply there from Tempe. As Wantirna South go forward, big high up and under kick. The mark not taken by Millard, but he did pretty well to recover. Templestowe from half back up towards the wing position. Harkness in opposition there to Lucciarelli. Ball close to the boundary line and over. Boundary throw in wing position here at Templestowe Reserve. Looks as if it'll be Brennan there to go up in the ruck for Templestowe against big Darren Hukamar. He's been in terrific form to start the season for the Devils. And the umpire right on the scene to ball it up once more. It's Brent Walker there just handing it back to the umpire, and he's a player to watch today. Named best on ground last week for Wantirna South. Terrific midfielder, works hard, finds plenty of the footy. Usually gets up for a couple of goals as well.
Yeah, and a beautiful goal kicked to make Wantirna South on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 10-minute mark. Move on to 2-14. Templestowe 1 straight 6.
Yeah, really jittery coming out of defence in Templestowe. They need to be much more certain in their ball, with hitting up a target, making sure they can find that man in space, because if they don't, when you've got guys like the quality of Brad Hutchison around the ball, he's going to turn it over and make them pay, and he was able to find Callum then, who's actually put it through, and second one on the board now for the Devils.
Second goal, as you say, Frosty, on the board for Wantirna South, 2-2-14, leading Templestowe 1 goal. It is the Dockers coming out of the middle. The kick out towards the wing position. Leading the race was Bain. Matty Bain gets past the would-be tackler, races forward now. Bain's kicked deep into the forward line. Plenty of defenders back there, though, for Wantirna South. Free kick will go to the Devils. It'll go to Jackson Freeman. And Freeman, left footer to Cale. So Peter Cale slows play down now for Wantirna South. Considers his options. Very short pass was effective to Freeman. So Jackson Freeman, great game last week against Baronia. And like Braden Harkness, gives a lot of run out of off half back. He's a damaging left foot kick. Shares it with Cale now. Freeman's kick into open space was effective in the end because it landed in the hands of Jamison. Long searching kick by Jamison to Teakle. Was all wrapped up there by Rains. Good tackle by him. Bit of a lack of awareness deep in defence there by the Dockers. Rains quickly came away with the kick. Papa hunts it down, but he can't keep it in play. And we'll have a boundary throw in outer side of Templestowe Reserve. Still slender lead here for Wantirna South in very warm and pretty windy conditions. Big high up and under kick. Jamison was camped under it. He's been an outstanding player for such a long time for Wantirna South. Michael Jamison played in 2 premierships in 2004 and 2008 with the Devils in second division. Strong tackle applied once more. And it will be a ball up, so a bit of a stalemate just at the moment. Umpire throws it up. Francis contesting in the ruck for Templestowe.
3 or 4 times now he's been able to work off his man and get that space to be able to work really creatively, and that's probably the message that could be coming out to the runner very shortly to young Peter Cale. You need to be tighter on a guy the class of Matty Bain.
Umpire tosses it up in the middle. Quick kick there by Smith out of the middle for Wantirna South. They get another forward 50. Quinn doesn't take the mark this time, which is a rare sight. Ryan Bain always shows a lot of poise, never panics. This is no exception. Got it to Millard, who elected to kick off his non-dominant foot to the wing. Favours Wantirna South now. Big Dean Young launches it forward. Edgecombe the target. Got one over the shoulder, but he kept his feet, doesn't lose his balance, plays on, races into an open goal, and Scotty Edgecombe won't get too many easier goals than that. He kept his opponent, lost his footing, and that was the difference as Wantirna South get their third on the board. 3 goals, 2-20. Templestowe 2 goals on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Frosty.
They don't call you the accurate one of the Eastern Football League for no reason, Brad. That was exactly the way you described it. The difference was then young John Vanderweel went to ground, Edgecombe stayed on his feet and was able to run onto a loose ball. And if you're going to go to ground, you need to make sure your opponent goes to ground with you. You can't let him have free run at the open goal like that, and that's what's cost the Templestowe side a goal there.
Riley Beveridge, thanks to Choose Tap match stats.
Yeah, well, these blustery conditions, there's a lot of turnovers already. Templestowe 7 to Wantirna South 4, another one there cost them a goal.
So Young will go up against Francis in the ruck. The umpire throws the ball aloft now. We'll give that one that time to Young. They're going to get a clearance here. The handball over the top. They might be able to get it inside forward 50. Cutting across there was Matthew Bain to lend some support in. Bedome goes up in the ruck over the top this time. They might get away with his Comedian. Balked one. They've moved the ball relatively quickly out of the danger zone, Templestowe, as the ball goes up towards the wing position and bounces almost into the broadcast caravan out here at Templestowe Reserve. So a good game we're seeing. 8 points is the difference. Wantirna South lead it on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 3-2-20. Templestowe 2 straight. The umpire throws that one in. It might fall the way of Prestigiacomo if he goes after it. Well done there to get the handball away. Leggett will go inside forward 50, and a good strong mark has been taken about 40 metres out from goal. Well, there was a little bit of confusion there, but no, it is a mark to Wantirna South.
Chris Phillips.
Chris Phillips will be the recipient about 45 metres out. You'd expect him to put this one through. Directly in front, he'll come in now. They've kicked the first 3. He leans over the ball, and when you give a guy a wrap, he pushed it to the right-hand side. So minor score on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard to Wantirna South. They move to 3-3-21. It's a 9-point ball game. Templestowe are still 2 straight 12. Riley Beveridge, thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, I've noticed Templestowe are dominating the hit-outs at the moment, but Wantirna South are getting a lot of clearances out that defensive side of the midfield. They lead at 6-3 in terms of clearances.
So Matty Bain in the Channel 9 dots jumper once again did the kicking in up towards half back there for Templestowe. Wantirna South win the footy back though. Long kick looking for Walker against Chambers. Loose footy now. Wantirna South just wanted a little bit more on that occasion. Quick high kick into the path of, was intended for Jamison, but carried over the back, and Bedome again on a long lead takes the mark. Judged it well then, Big Daniel Bedome.
He was really strong in that marking contest as well there, Brad. The way he was able to lead out, surrounded by 3 or 4 Dockers, but still able to hold on. Shows his strength he's got through his upper body and through his legs.
Kick from pretty much straight in front. Hasn't kicked one so far today, just the one behind for Daniel Bedome. And it looks good off the boot. Goal umpire didn't have to work too hard for that one. And he signals the goal. So first one on the board for the day for Daniel Bedome. 4 goals now on the board for Wantirna South. And they've just opened up a handy gap against Templestowe on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Something we did see then from Wantirna South is a bit of awareness that comes from having played with 40 or 50 games together as a team, which is something that Matt Clark...
So Harkness brings the ball back in for Wantirna South. But the ball chopped off there for Templestowe by Comedian, who goes laterally now. Got it to Brennan. Gave it to Millard. High left foot kick by Millard to a big pack of players. Came over the back there, and chance here for Templestowe. Sheen finding a bit of space there and not wasting any time. Raced in to kick the goal. So they're looking dangerous at the moment. 3-1-19 and Wantirna South 4-3-27. Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Let's cross boundary side.
Guys, you talk about the importance of Jackson Freeman for Wantirna South. He's lining up on that centre half back and giving up a bit of height on Joe Fiucci. So Fiucci will be looking to take advantage of that matchup.
Thanks to Akira Urgent Care, to our boundary riders, and it is an 8-point lead at the moment to Wantirna South, Benny.
Handy goal that, Peter Baird, for Templestowe.
It is, and it's important in the context of the game, right in the shadows of quarter time. You can't let a team like Wantirna South jump out to a 2 or 3 goal lead. It's going to be hard to beat back if they haven't got that goal, so really important for Templestowe.
Well, Young to Leggett to Young, and they move their way across the half-forward line now. They might be able to get away with this. Once again, Templestowe Batsanas. That was a neat left-foot kick. He might go for the 1-2 here over the top of his head. Brennan overran the pill. Now it'll be one bouncing ball, and it ended up hitting the post, and that was Callum Ransom, who's already kicked one major minor score on the board to the Devils. They move to 4 goals, 4-28. It's a 9-point ball game once again. Templestowe 3-1-19. Let's cross down to Paul Semmercedes, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, the work rate from the Templestowe midfielders just isn't there at the moment. They're getting squeezed by the Wantirna South boys far too easily.
Fesci takes the mark, gives off the handball to Prestigiacomo. Prestigiacomo's long kick. It usually is when he gets his hands on the footy. Still favours Templestowe. Sheen, who's been lively early. Sheen's kick fires at the goals, but he's off target this time and couldn't repeat his effort from before. Just a minor score. Templestowe 4-28. Close ball game here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard here at Templestowe Reserve.
Yeah, even early on in the first quarter, you see some couple of contrasting styles of football. Templestowe much stronger overhead. They're able to hit up a bigger target as they move forward. They've got Big Fesci down there in their forward line, Quinn across half back, Francis in the middle. Whereas Wantirna South, when the ball hits the much more damaging in and around the stoppages.
Francis and Hooghammer went up in the ruck. The umpires plucked out a free kick here. It'll go the way of it.
And he was all wrapped up there by Vankachov. Had nowhere to go, so once more the umpire hoists it up in the air. Quick kick came forward for the Devils to Papa. Clever little handball. Gee, this is promising for Wantirna South. They go forward, but the high kick there from Walker. Bit of an up and under job right to the square, but Dome just too strong. And he waltzes into an easy goal. And it will be paid, of course. So Daniel Badome there, far too strong.
Radio Eastern and video streaming live on efl.org.au. Hope you've enjoyed the first quarter. Ben Waterworth will be back with all the important around the ground scores right after this on EFL Gameday.
Had an accident on the field? Head straight to Akira Urgent Care for immediate medical treatment, and you won't have to wait. For a maximum of $75, we'll treat your broken bones, sprains, strains, cuts, or any other game day injuries. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Baronia, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. We have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
For all things EFL, The Huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, he is Glenn Archer, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league B&F, our B&F.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1 quarter.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
17-3, Radio Eastern 98.1. Barry Cost back here in the studio with EFL Gameday. We'll return to the match between Tim.
Some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a race tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots. Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss Akira EFL Sunday from 10 till 12 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Ben Warren Smith and the team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang also talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all seniors, reserves and under-19s matches. Akira EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday on 98.1 Radio Eastern. For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website.
Trailing North Ringwood 41, Montreal 5-23, leading Mulgrave 0-2-2, and Croydon 5-3-33, leading Bayswater 1-1-7. Here's the score though, that will certainly interest Peter Baird. Roval 7-3-45, South Croydon nothing. 45-point lead to the Hawks at quarter time. Knox 1-7-13, leading Scoresby 1-2-8. Here's the biggest upset so far. Baldwin 2 behind, Lilydale 5-3-33. Bit of an upset there, and just got a score through from East Ringwood and Noble Park, and we're all tied up. It's 3-2-20 apiece. 3-2-20 East Ringwood, 3-2-20 Noble Park. So some interesting scores happening around the Eastern Football League. We'll keep you the scores right up to date throughout the day. Riley Beveridge, some stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, as I said before, Templestowe absorbed a lot of pressure in that quarter. Wantirna South lead clearances 9-6. They lead inside 15-11. And yeah, Templestowe had 11 turnovers to Wantirna South 7, but they've done well with tackles 14-11.
Great stuff in the Choose Tap stats chair, O'Reilly. Let's cross down boundary side and hear what the coaches had to say at the huddles to Paul Semasides and Sam Gaston, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, went across the Templestowe's huddle and Brownie not very happy.
Como went in hard on his hammer. Is his Wantirna South opponent. We'll have a bounce virtually in the centre of Templestowe Reserve here. You can see the trees in the background. They must be playing havoc for the players out there today. Leggett lays a tackle on Prestigia Como, who goes after it again and again and again. The umpire will come in and bounce it. He nearly could have got pinged there, but definitely put his head over the ball several times. So we'll have the third restart within a minute. Comes down now, snap around the body by Ransom just to get it out of the stoppage area. Still in the centre square here. Templestowe might be able to clear this one away. The kick there by Batsanis drives the ball inside forward 50. First to meet it out there might be Davies there for Templestowe. Over the back of the pack, the handball went really nowhere by Bates, but he allowed enough pressure to rush the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Really like the attack on the ball today, coming off half back then from Alistair Quinn. Was able to keep the ball in front of the contest, and that's really important when you really charge out and make a really concerted effort at the ball. Don't let it get behind you where your opposition can run onto a loose ball.
Well, who came up? He got the knockdown from the stoppage. The kick goes up towards to the goal square. Could be almost a mark. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Eventually, the mark has been paid. That is a brilliant one-hander, very acrobatic.
Contender for EFL Play of the Day next week on EFL TV. Have a look at that one. I reckon 6 bites of the cherry then from Big Simon
He's your mate. You love it.
Both of them into goal, so really good efficiency from Templestowe.
Well, Sam Bates having to fetch his own footy, and he's had to go a long way to get it. Not getting much help down that end
The
of the
girls
ground.
on the hill are just enjoying the sun by the looks of things.
None of them were going to chase after the ball.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
As you'll see there, boys, everybody on the ground has just drifted across here towards just in front of us. So they're definitely playing this wing where the wind is headed.
Bates is a thumping kick off either side of his body. This is no exception, although the ball does hold out up a little bit in the breeze. Ball slipped through the hands there of Burkett. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Still
running onto it and kicking an open goal. That is a brilliant bit of play there by Templestowe in the goal square, and they will hit the front for the first time this afternoon. I think it might have been Batsanis to put through his second of the day. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Templestowe moved to 7 goals, 3-45. Wantirna 6 goals, 4-40. Let's go around the grounds, Ben Waterworth.
Ball in Lilydale. Lilydale lead by 31 points at quarter time. Noble Park and East Ringwood all locked up. Knox by 5 over Scoresby. Rowville by 45 points over South Croydon. And Vermont and Norwood are 3-2-20 apiece.
Chris to Giacomo claimed he was held without it. Lapari. Long kick. Thumping kick forward for Templestowe. Great mark by Grasser. And this time Kevin Hugamer unable to dispute it. It was a clean mark, and Simon Grasser looking dangerous up forward for the Dockers.
Yeah, no dispute there from Kevin Hugamer. He was just outbodied then by Simon Grasser. Just too strong in the marking contest. Able to fend off his man with one arm and then mark the ball in Miniavo. He's looking really damaging and Templestowe deep in their forward line.
He's an elite junior player at the Knox Footy Club. Played in premierships through his junior years, and then been fine player for the Glen Waverley Hawks the last couple of years. Came to Templestowe this year and has kicked his second goal of this second quarter. And Templestowe at the moment, they look to be the better side in the second term, and they've moved on to 7-3-45. Wantirna South still stranded on that score of 6-4-40. as they were at quarter time on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
I'm not sure what other option Matt Clark has there for Simon Grasser. If he's going to outbody his man one-on-one in a strong marking contest like that, Hookhammer's probably his strongest defender he's got. The other two that could possibly go back there are young Jackson Freeman and Tim Lee, but neither of them really have that upper body size to match Simon Grasser in a marking contest.
11
like
points is the margin. Brennan got the knockdown. The umpire might restart this. No, lets the play go. They might be able to get a clearance through Hutchison. His handball went out wide. That was okay by Walker. Banged it on his boot up towards the centre half forward position. Players have to converge here. Quinn, he was one that went after it the hardest. Papa wrapped him up in a tackle, but Templestowe going to be able to clear this one out. A foot race is created. Lapari's the first one to meet it. Gets a handball across to Batsanis, who kicks it up towards the half forward line. Across there towards Sheen. He took it on the second bite. He want to swing around now. Eventually gets onto his favourable right side. Inside forward 50, looking for Fiorenzo, and he comes out and takes a good mark. Also wasting no time. Kicks it to the hot spot. Why wouldn't you go towards the Grasser direction? A fly there by Jamie Bain. Couldn't quite pull it down. It's only about 20 metres out from goal. Over it is Burkett. He wraps it up, and the umpire will bounce it about 20 metres out from goal.
Another Division 3 score. Sorry, Churnside Park 22 points in front of Heathmont. Wantirna South obviously struggling against Templestowe at the moment. Baroni at 29 points in front of the Wildest Pioneers, and the Basin 7 points in front of Ringwood.
Well, Davies has received a free kick only about 20 metres out from goal. You saw that, Peter Baird?
It was. The umpire originally called for the ball up there, but Davies put to ground after the umpire requested the ball up, and he's got a free kick.
Well, the margin is 11. It can stretch to 17 as Davies comes in, and he kicked it really hard, and the umpire moved his way to the right-hand side, so a big let off there for Wantirna South. My final score is the result. Templestowe on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 11-minute mark lead. 8 goals for 52. 2 goals ahead of Wantirna South, 6 for 40.
In Division 4, South Belgrave by 7 points over Canterbury. Eastern Lions 39, Nunawading nothing. Forest Hill 1 point in front of Sylvan. Surrey Park 10 points in front of Coldstream. And Park Orchards 15 points in front of Ferntree Gully.
Dangerous kick in by Harkness. Didn't do his teammate any favours, and Templestowe there through Vankachov, forcing a boundary throw in. So not the result Wantirna South were after from the kick in. Back into play. Young won the tap down. Strong tackle applied once more by Sheen that time. He's been lively, Matt Sheen. Umpire throws it up. Young wins the tap once again. Fiorenzo at the fall of the ball. He was stripped of it. And the free kick went to Ryan Bain. Not the most popular decision, as Bain will line up for goal from certainly within kicking distance. He's a lovely kick of the football. Wind will test him though. Sounds positive, but as it turned out, he was just off to the left. Minus score there for Ryan Bain, but Templestowe are peppering the goals at the moment. They are 8-5-53, and Wantirna South still on that quarter-time score that they had of 6 goals for 40. Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, Harkness played it to himself and then kicked it out towards the half-back line. Now in the arms there of, I think that was Walker. Got the handball across. They've once again intercepted Templestowe. The kick goes inside 450. Davies nearly pulled in a ripper mark. Coming in to lend some support is McIntyre. They're going to get
So Hark brings the ball back in. Over the back. Batsanis coughed it up. And lost it there to Papa. So we'll have a boundary throw in outer side of Templestowe Reserve. Try to throw it back in. It will be Young there. Gills by Fieschi with the back heel of his boot. Got it to a teammate. Hard skill to execute that one. Strong tackle applied by Fleming and by Ryan Bain, and they want a free kick, Templestowe, for holding the ball, and they've got it. Free kick goes to Bain. Long kick. Not much to kick to though. Grasser was pretty much going up against 3 opponents then. Cale out of defence. Ryan Bain. Kick looks good off the boot, and he has slotted it home for his first of the day. So good goal there for Templestowe. Kick by Ryan Bain, and the Dockers move on to 9-6-60. Wantirna South a 6-4-40. They've opened up a 20-point lead here at Templestowe Reserve, the home side.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Paul Mercedes.
Yeah, Frost, you stole my thunder a bit there. The Templestowe boys definitely setting up that wall across the half-forward line for about the last 10-15 minutes. The Devils just can't get it past the centre at the moment.
Would have been you stealing his thunder, mate, because that's why he's the special comments man. So the ball's back in the middle now. The high fly there by Young came towards Teagle. Young goes after it again and kicks it off the ground up towards the half-forward line for Wantirna South. The ball tricks everybody on hands and knees. Jamison got it away to Teagle. Series of handball. It ends up in the arms there of Phillips, who run in and should kick an easiest of goals. And he probably had 5 metres further to run in, but he pushed it to the right-hand side, and that was an important goal that they really needed to get on the board, Wantirna South, because it's been a fair while between drinks. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they moved to 6 goals 5-41. Templestowe are 9 goals 6-60.
Well, Bain kicks to himself and then elects to hug the boundary with the kick. Young set himself for the mark and safely takes it there for the Devils. Dishes it off to Leggett, who's been pretty quiet so far. Long kick by Taylor Leggett to full forward. Docker's defence working hard. The kick is belted out towards Vankic. They could play on Simon Grasser because he has played a lot of footy at full back over the years for the Devils, and might be an option given the fact that, as you say, at the moment Grasser seems to have a bit too much strength for Kevin Hukama.
Yeah, it's probably the only other option they've really got, and just looking across the team, the board there. The other option is obviously to dry out the supply that they can get down to Simon Grasser. And if they can get back to something like they played in the first quarter, winning the contested ball around the stoppages, they're going to go a long way towards achieving that aim.
Riley Beveridge, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Yeah, Templestowe prior to that, 11 inside 50s to 6, which really makes you question if we underestimated their ability to only hold Wantirna South to a 14-point mark.
Well, the driving kick by the Devils goes up towards the half-forward line, straight over the head of Hughammer, but it was okay because Walker was there.
And Jamie Bain, pretty obvious one. That one is Bain, high up and under kick. And the Wantirna South defence were really caught napping then. And Kevin Hughammer went to ground. Didn't pick up who
Grasser.
It was. Yep, but teammate there for the Devils really misjudged it, Frosty, and in the end Simon Grasser was able to take a simple mark when it shouldn't have been so simple.
I think they might have just underestimated the strength of the wind carrying over the back of the pack.
Well, Grasser's kicked 2 goals in this quarter and makes no mistakes, slots through his third, and he's looking dangerous up forward in this second term as Templestowe move on to 10 goals 6-66. Wantirna South 7-6-48 Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Let's cross down to the boundary.
Templestowe do have that advantage of the breeze, which is going down to the scoreboard side of the ground. They're also using their interchange a lot more than Wantirna South, so getting probably a bit of extra run from that as well.
Thank you very much to Shane Gaston down on the boundary line. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care this afternoon. We hope you're enjoying it on 98.1 at Radio Eastern and streaming live on EFL.org.au. The umpire throws the ball aloft in the middle. Brennan got the knockdown. That was okay. He had a little bit of support too. The kick goes up towards the half-forward line where Sheen presents himself. Freeman got the handball away. Good kick too up towards the centre wing position. And a man who's come a little bit alive in this second term is Peter Cahill.
It's been good.
With the green boots, goes into the middle. There's a smart kick created. So half forward line now for Templestowe. Handball out now towards the Teagle direction. He attacks it. He looked for Harkness out wide. Ball stolen there. That was good play by Fiorenza to keep it alive for his teammate. The umpire will come in and bounce this one though. Sheen. Oh no, the umpire said play on eventually. A little bit of how do you do at the bottom of the pack there as well. And we'll have a bounce about 40 metres out from goal. 25 minutes gone in this second term. It's a 12-point ball game. Down Templestowe's end. They have the lead. The umpire throws it up now. Brennan put his body on the line. That was good as scoots out towards Bain. His handball wasn't too flash, but charging through Fiorenza. Dropped the pill. Could have nearly been pinged.
So Harkness continues to do all of the kicking in for Wantirna South. That's a dangerous one. He just put himself under a lot of pressure then. Kick was intended for Ransom. And the ball around the boundary there intended for Teagle. And hasn't been a great quarter of football by Wantirna South. They are struggling at the moment. Just mounted a bit of a comeback towards the end of this term. Too much time left, you wouldn't think. Strong tackle by Batson.
Those 11th of the almost hit half-time here on EFL Game Day. The Dockers on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard 11-7-73. Wantirna South 7-6-48. Riley.
15 inside 50s for 7 goals in this quarter for Templestowe, so they're almost kicking a goal every second time.
I don't know if you made much mention of it then, BWS, but as Ryan Braden broke from that centre contest, that was almost Ryan Mullet-like. He didn't actually take possession of the ball. He guided it one hand out of midair onto his right boot and was able to hit Fiorenza lace out. That was an absolutely fantastic disposal.
Back in the middle was Fieschi winning the tap. Templestowe finishing this quarter full of running, and they lead the race to the footy this time as the siren sounds, and that ends the first half of action here at Templestowe Reserve, where the Dockers have opened up a very handy lead to the tune of 20 or just
30 points.
Yeah, 12. Yeah, I think that's correct. The scoreboard there: 12 goals, 678 for Templestowe. Wantirna South 7-6-48. It is a 30-point lead on the board for Templestowe. I've got 12 goals. 12 goals on
Radio Eastern 98.1. Barry Cott's back here in the studio. It's half-time game. We're back there shortly. It's 21 after 3. A very pleasant day in Melbourne's outer east. Currently it's sitting on 24 degree. A few showers appearing at 20. Monday, a little rain developing at 20. And Tuesday, morning shower 2 and 18. Let's check some AFL scores. And the game being played in Campbell's today. At Monaco Rovers between the Gold Coast and GWS, and at half-time it was Gold Coast leading well in front, 10-11-71 to GWS 7-4-46. Major goal kickers for the Gold Coast Suns, Dixon has 4, Smith 2, and 1 to Ablett, and for GWS, Cameron has 2, O'Halpin has 1.
The Eastern Football League.
About 1 quarter.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Had an accident on the field? Head straight to Ikira Urgent Medical Treatment and you won't have to wait. For a maximum of $75, we'll treat your bones, sprains, strains, cuts or any other game day injuries. Walk in at 150.
Line is 2-4-16. In Division 4, full lot of scores. Canterbury putting up a fight against South Belgrave today. South Belgrave 6-9-45, leading Canterbury 4-4-28. Nunawading coming back in the second term. They kicked 4 goals to 1. So the Eastern Lions 7-6-48 lead Nunawading 4-8-32. Forest Hill 8-6-54 lead Sylvan 5-4-34, 4-8-32. Ferntree Gully, Stanaway is ready for us once again. Good afternoon to you, Clint.
Hello, you well?
I'm well, yourself?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, all eyes, of course, on the footy as always, and we've got a bit more on this goal review debacle in Perth last night, or should I say the goal review that never actually happened. Yes. Now, we don't hear this often from the AFL, but they say the umpire got it wrong.
Oh, no.
Damien Hardwick, he was fuming when the goal umpire was struck by the ball in the dying minutes. He didn't go to the third umpire, didn't go upstairs, but it looks as though, obviously, it would have probably hit the post. Still, Hardwick described this whole process as a joke, but it is important to know.
Surely the technology's not there to be used for proper video reviews as well. What kind of camera angles could they have used anyway?
Well, there's a few camera angles, but what frustrates me is that in previous weeks it's actually overused. You know, umpires don't back themselves, and then in other weeks it's underutilised as well. So there's just this big grey area that the AFL have really got to address, and Mark Evans has got a few issues on his plate, and the third umpire is probably one of them.
Good stuff, Clint. Well, we look forward to seeing that smile once again at 6 p.m. tonight. 9 News, the best news going around town. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch up next week. Good on you. Clint Stanaway joining us there from 9 News, always doing a magnificent job. We're about to go to Forest Hill because a big result's going on at Forest Hill and Sylvan at the moment. So we'll cross to the confident Vickers very, very soon. But let's just go around the grounds once again and bring you up to date with all the live scores. And let's start in Division 3. Heathmont 2-5-17, leading Churnside Park 5-10-40. Warren here at Templestowe 12-6-78 over Dockers. Wantirna South 7-6-48. And Doncaster 7-7-49, leading Warrandyte 4-6-30.
He's got I reckon he's on about 20 touches already. He's kicked 2 goals. His tackling pressure around the contest has been amazing. So Jakey Rowe definitely in the middle. I've also got a boy, Nathan Jamone. He's wearing number 50 today. He's been a real influence up forward. He's a big fella and he's kicked 3 goals so far and he's had a couple more shots. but he's been a big influence up there. One more for the Zebras, I'll give it. It's Joey Griffiths coming out of the back half, super smooth. That dagger, the dagger of a boot, I'm going to give him a bit of a boost as well.
Great stuff, Billy. Jamo was the guy who actually kicked 5 goals last weekend. He certainly
Sunday from 10 till 12 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Ben Warren Smith and the team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang also talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring scores from all seniors, reserves and under-19s matches.
It's about to start, Barry.
Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
It can be difficult booking an
About to
appointment
start,
with your
Barry.
GP when you need medical care urgently. But at Akira Urgent Care, Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency
half, they move on to 8-6-54. Templestowe 12, 6-78 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Really important start there from Wantirna South. 15 of the 19 goals that have been kicked today have been kicked at that scoreboard and to the right-hand side of your radio dial. So Wantirna South really need to make an impact in this quarter. Probably set themselves up with a 3 or 4 goal lead if they're to have any hope of holding on in this final term.
The umpire throws it up for Yeshi, got the clear knockdown that time, charging through there. Ryan Bain eventually scooped it out towards the half-forward line. Good fist away that time there by Phillips. They might have a little bit of a run here. Teagle receives a handball, arches it back, kicks the ball inside forward 50 towards the Bedome direction. Disguised it well, Tim Raines for Templestowe, and we'll have a boundary throw in about 20 metres out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, BWS. He disguised it well. I don't think he really was fumbling it as much as he was letting on then.
Well, the ball got thrown back in and you heard the applause. It got fisted straight back over again. There hasn't been a free kick paid. We're just going to have another restart. So 20 metres out from Wantirna's goals. The handball that time by Millard. Found a teammate for Yeshi. You'll have to go in after it. Millard goes after it again. Somehow scrambled to kick out wide. And he was touched off the boot. So it'll be a boundary throw in about 75 metres out from the Wantirna South goals. Let's go around the grounds with Manny Avantarakis.
Alrighty, so in Division 1 we've got Lilydale still leading Balwyn 7-4-46 to 5-6-36. Noble Park still up over East Ringwood 5-8-38 to 4-4-28. Still down at Knox, we've got a bit of a scrap game with Knox 1-7-13, 2 points over Scoresby 1-5-11. Roval got the upper hand over South Croydon. They're leading 13-7, 85 to 3-5-23. And Vermont are trailing Norwood. Norwood 7-7, 48 to Vermont 6-4, 40.
Well, Templestowe have worked this ball right down to their half-forward line, and it was some good possessions going the whole way too. But Wantirna South now, the ball's in the arms of them, and it's in the safe boot, left boot of Harkness, Brad.
Yeah, now it's with Greg to Freeman. Chain of handballs on that outer side of Templestowe Reserve. High kick there by Bates, and he's put it out on the full. Bates close to the boundary line, and in the end goes over the boundary line.
Bates has got to do better than that. Last 2 kicks he's had, he's put it out of bounds on the full. Just needs a bit more composed under pressure.
Well, he's usually a
very experienced player.
Yeah, he's usually a very damaging kick off either side of his body. And I saw last week there was one time he was forced onto his left foot and he still kicked at 55 metres.
Ryan Bain told Matthew Bain, "I'll have the kick, mate." The umpire said no, it will be Matthew Bain's kick, so he's handed the ball back to him.
Bain goes very short and finds Big Simon Grasser putting the big dukes up and taking the mark. Grasser distance will and finally the boundary line comes into play. And speaking of which, thanks to Akira Urgent Care, let's cross down to our Akira Urgent Care boundary riders.
Yeah, boys, Polyfield has just hobbled off with what looks like a right ankle injury, so I'll keep you updated with more when it comes to hand.
Also Mercedes on the boundary line. It's across the half-forward line now for Templestowe. This might work out okay for them. Davies had the short pass on. He had the running player inside looking for Fleming. Wantirna, though, get the clearing, driving kick out towards the far wing. Who's going to be the first to meet it? Fieschi was out there, but he left it for Vatsanas. He might create some space. He centres the ball, but there is nobody home. And the mark has been taken at the last line of defence by Hutchinson. So he drives the ball out now. It's a good-looking kick too. After you try the trap at that time was Vankerkoff, and he runs it over the boundary line for another stoppage. 55 metres out from the Templestowe goals. It's a good game we're seeing out here today. 4 goals is the margin. Wantirna South have the breeze on hands and knees. Burkett tried to get the handball out. Overrunning at that time was Fieschi for Templestowe. And we'll have another stoppage. There's been a lot of those in the first 10 minutes, Peter Baird.
There have been, and Templestowe would be really happy with that. They don't want to try and stop any Wantirna South have. Wantirna South really need to get in front by three-quarter time because Templestowe will come home with a breeze in the final term.
Well, Fieschi got a good fist on that one.
Fisted forward there for the Dockers, but Smith intercepts it. Gave it to Leggett, who ran into his own teammate in Jamison. Jamison takes possession now. He likes it off the boot, pumps the fist, and that's why, because he's made no mistake. Michael Jamison, right on cue. We mentioned him just a moment ago, or you did, Frosty, that he needed to take his game to another level in this match, and he's just done so with a great team-lifting goal as Wantirna South move on to... that's their... Sorry, we'll just get the score in a moment.
That's their 9th goal for the afternoon, so they move on to 9 at 6:60, and they're still trailing by 18. Go around the grounds with Maddie Van ter Ark. You got some scores for us, Maddie?
Alrighty, so heading to Division 2 now, we've got Croydon leading Bayswater by 16, Montrose still in front of Mulgrave by 48 points, and North Ringwood has the upper hand over Upper Fantry Gully by 50 points.
Well, the ball's now across the half. Templestowe going for a fresh air shot. There was Papper. I don't know if that was too effective, but they might be able to get away with this. Driving kick up towards the half forward line. Streaming out is Jamison. He gets down low and takes a good strong mark. So I want to keep this ball moving quickly. We'll Wantirna South as it's a pretty open forward line. This time it was going up. It was Walker. The umpire said play on. Players hit the deck and we'll have a bounce about 55 metres out from goal.
Like the great player he is, Jamison's really his first of the day.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Sam Gaskin.
Yeah, we saw the Wantirna South player go down there in a big hit. It's Jackson Freeman. He's getting up very slowly and looks to be coming towards the bench, so I'll keep you updated on that one.
Score is 13 goals, 7 plays, 9-7. So we're back to a 4-goal ball game here. So a handy goal for Templestowe against the breeze in this third term. We've gone 17 minutes. So waiting for the umpire to restart the match. Does so now. Clear tap out that time by Francis. Who's going to win it out of the middle this time? I think it was Papa who balked one, then kicked it up towards half forward. Fumbling at the last stage, allowed for Matthew Bain for the Dockers to come in and chop it off. Switches the play out wide now towards Lipari. He likes to take off. He's got a bit of turn of speed and he's a lovely long kick too. Driving kick up towards the half forward line, all over the back of Fieschi they were, and the big man will take a free kick.
Providing them a real target across far forward today, Fieschi, and he looks really good there and really straightens them up.
So Fieschi waiting for players to stream down. It was a neat kick too into the forward pocket, but there was nobody home. Looking for his teammate Paul Fiorenzo, who kicked a couple of early goals in this match. He's been well held, or you'd say, for the last quarter or so, but Leggett has it now for Wantirna South. Has 2 bounces within 3 metres. Make that 3, make that 4. Now streams out of the half-back line. He had players to be able to raffle this one. Greg's over the top if they want to use him. Instead, it's just Harkness. He arches it back. He has 2 bounces now. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. Who's going to be the intended target here? Well done there by Prestigiacomo to be at the front of the ball, to be able to mop up and kick out towards the wing position. Lucarelli, he needed to trap it off.
Harkness was good to see, and Leggett giving plenty of run as well. Run and carry for his team. Out of defence, Quinn. Handball to Prestigiacomo. Long kick by him. Carries over the head there of Harkness. Little kick by Lipari. Hugging the boundary up towards Lucarelli. 2 Devils converge on him, and they did well then to keep the ball in. Free kick goes to Wantirna South for holding the ball. And it looks like it's Harkness in the chest. Luke Smith, too far out to score. Just kicks it really to a contest, but it didn't favour Wantirna South, and Alistair Quinn standing tall once again. Takes another mark, goes very short, careful kick to Brennan, who just seemed to have no awareness of what was around him then, and he put himself under a lot of pressure, had his kick smothered, and really that was a let-off for Wantirna South, because Templestowe really should have cleared easily. Chris Brennan just lacking a bit of peripheral vision on that occasion. Could have been a free kick against Lucarelli to Ransom. Wasn't paid. Teakle. It's been really good in the at the stoppages today, and Teakle's kick, all he did was just
What
get it
they
on the
need.
boot. It didn't matter how it looked. It wasn't pretty, but it landed into the arms of Daniel Bedome. And Bedome will go back and line up for goal number 3 to match the 3 goals that he kicked last week.
Goes in for the Devils. He knows it is very important next couple of minutes for them. He drives the ball up towards the half-forward line. It was a long searching kick. The wind ended up getting a hold of it. Walker got one handle to it. But over she goes for a boundary throw-in 50 metres out from goal. We've gone 22 and a half minutes here in the third term, the premiership quarter. Go around the grounds with Matty very shortly as the umpire brings it back in now. Still 50 metres out. Templestowe have created a wall. Walker goes in hard for Wantirna South. Somehow got the handball out looking for Papa. It was picked up there by Timmy Rains. He was tackled and will have a bounce. So 18 points is the margin out here. Let's go to Matty Vantarakis around the grounds with some scores. And thanks, Matty.
Alrighty, so heading to Division 3 now. We've got Churnside Park winning against Heathmont by 23 points. Against Doncaster against Warrandyte are leading by 19. Whitehorse are still trailing Boronia by 29 points, and the Basin are trailing Ringwood by 12.
Thank you very much, Matty. Walker has been the recipient of a free kick from the boundary throw-in. So he's 45 metres out from goal. They currently trail by 3 goals. This to narrow the margin. What a beautiful looking kick. Straight off the boot, straight over the goal umpire's head. That's his second goal down. They need players running out wide in Kale. He needs to trap it. He needs to put the ball on the boot. He needs to have a shot on goal. And it's a great kick too, because the big man Bedome stood in the right spot across the face of goal and took a good mark. He plays on, and smart play by Sam McIntyre to get into the hole, and he will have a shot only 30 metres out, Peter Baird.
That's a couple of times there. Daniel Bedome, he's been caught out of position, but Mark deep in their forward line, he's had the awareness to look up and find a better option. One-handed player streaming into an open goal. This time he finds McIntyre 25 metres out directly in front.
So McIntyre to make it 3 goals in the last 4 minutes and to narrow this game to within a 1 goal. Comes in, the umpire does not move. That is Sam McIntyre's first goal of the day, and it is Wantirna South's 12th. The Devils move
back there as Millard safely takes the mark. Gives it to Fleming. Bit of a floater from Fleming. Was intended for Sheen. Does well, Sheen. Didn't panic. Handed it off to Quinn. Batsanis round the corner. Darren Hugamer safely pouches the mark. Leggett. Little kick around the corner by Leggett to Harkness. Driving kick once more by Harkness, but it's well marked back in there in defence. And the mark safely held by Chambers. Goes to Bain.
Friday night for nice. Watch all the jumpers, and of course he is Glenn Harcher, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league BNF, our BNF.
How much longer we've got to see Dewey Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1 quarter.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Radio Eastern 98.1.
Best players and having a big round of EFL footy. The game also talked to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all seniors, reserves and under-19s matches. Akira EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday on 98.1 Radio Eastern. For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Well, we certainly picked the game to be at today. Templestowe and Wantirna South. We're set for a huge final term. And here in this Scoresby are in quarter time. 3-5-23 to Knox 2-8-20 in a high-scoring bonanza. Roval 15-13, 103 to South Croydon 5-7-37. Some unbelievable scores coming through on EFL Gameday. We'll keep you in the loop right throughout the broadcast. But let's head to the Choose Tap Stats chair with Riley Beveridge. All thanks to Yarra Valley Water. Smart Choose Tap.
Yeah, well, Wantirna South reduced the margin to just 5 points in that third quarter, and they dominate.
Unaware, including me on that. As Fiorenza's kick, he hung it out to the right. There'll be a consultation about whether it did sneak in for a behind. Goal umpire says that it did. And as you called it, Frosty, the rarely seen and rarely used rule of the ruckman thumping it out of boundary throw-in on the full, but the umpire right on the job then on that occasion. So Harkness kicks to himself. He's done that a few times today with mixed results, and again this time he went by hand to Teakle. They get out of it okay.
Ryan Bain, Matthew picked the ball up and over she goes for a boundary throw-in. Rolly Beveridge, thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, well, it's no wonder that John Brown wanted them to tighten up in the stoppages there. So far they're trailing 26-18.
Well, a nice little fend off by Fieschi. Got it away, but charging through there is Freeman for Wantirna South. Long driving kick out towards the wing position. Players have got to go up and fly for it. That was Jamison. He was quick to meet it at ground level. Snaps the ball inside forward 50 to Badone. Got the handball away to Hutchinson. Hutchinson needs to put a shot on goal. The kick holds up in the breeze. It might even hold up enough there for Walker, but Templestowe are going to be able to clear this. They've got player, takes a mark. He needs to look further afield because Matty Bain is all by himself. He scrambles a kick up towards the half back line. It's it, brother Jamie, who slams it home. That was a great bit of end-to-end football by the Templestowe Dockers. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, well, they were leading by 7. Now they're leading by 13. That is his second goal of the afternoon. He did kick one in the second term in the goal square. Fantastic bit of running there, Peter Baird.
Fantastic end-to-end transition from the brothers Bain and the Templestowe jumpers. Matty Bain taking them on here in the centre wing. Eventually broke 2 or 3 tackles, had a couple of bounces, put the ball deep on the boot into the forward line, and Jamie Bain able to finish the work off that his brother created on centre wing.
Great call, BWS, as the ball comes back to the middle, and that was exciting stuff from Templestowe, and especially from Matty and Jamie Bain. And the 3 Bains have all played a role today, that is for sure. Umpire Sebastian Purcell throws it up in the middle. Quick kick came out of the middle for the Dockers. They get another clearance. Fiorenza wheeled around, had his kick smothered. Kale takes possession now, but he's all wrapped up. Got it out to Lee. Lee shoveled it out to Teakle, to Harkness. Has a bounce. Kicks it forward now. May have been touched off the boot. Didn't on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, but Wantirna South get a critical goal through Scotty Edgecombe.
They were much more composed and patient as they brought the ball forward that time, Wantirna South, which you have to be if you're kicking into the breeze. They were able to square up, find Leggett in the middle of the ground, and then Edgecombe drifting in from the side of the pack from the deep kick into the forward line. So much more patient play then from the Devils.
Well, we're back to a 7-point ball game. Hooghamer got the knockdown. Prestigiacomo came in, got a little toe poke up towards the half forward line. Davies is the first to meet it. He got the handball on. The driving kick inside forward 50 might go a little bit wide here. In fact, it might even stay in for Jamie Bain. He's tricky. He nearly got his
floating in from the side by Edgecombe once again to Jamison. Long kick to full forward. Spoiled there by Van der Weel, who kept his feet well. Dishes out the handball to Bain. Under pressure, Bain bounces the kick around the corner. Lucciarelli to Lapari. Lapari's long kick to full forward, but Freeman just had that kick well and truly scouted and safely works back to take the mark. The kick set Hutchinson a hard task, but he was up to it, although I'm sure he's wishing it wasn't quite so close to the boundary line as he goes over the boundary fence.
Nearly knackered himself there. Let's go around the grounds with Matty Vantarakis for some around the ground scores, Matty.
Alrighty, so we're heading out to Division 4 now. Starting off, South Belgrave got the hood over at the moment. Canterbury by 20 points. Eastern Lions up over Nuttawading at the moment by 7. Sylvan trailing Forest Hill by 31. Surrey Park is winning against Coldstream by 32. And Park Orchards is trailing French Valley by 16.
Leggett races in now for Wantirna South. Fires at the goals, but it's well short and across the face. Still in play though for the Devils. Jamison paddles it back. Ransom around the corner, high up and under kick. Sits, just causes some nervous moments for the Templestowe defence, but there's a whistle.
Free kick against Badome there.
Eye contact in the marking contest.
Free kick there goes to Chambers against Badome. High kick by Chambers. Looks for Quinn. Spilled over the back to Lapari. Lucciarelli now has a bounce. Runs his full measure. Kicks it inside the forward 50 for the Dockers. Off the ground by Sheen. Hunts the footy down once again, and Harkness, I think it was there, taking it over the line for Wantirna South.
He's been great, Harkness.
He's played a super game. His disposal a couple of times he has missed the target, but he does try to create a lot, and it's not always going to come off. But he just gives so much run and drive, and they trust him with the kick-outs as well. As Bain kicks the ball across the face of goal. He's kicked 2-3 so far today. This time, Jamie Bain's kick tumbles out of bounds in the forward pocket, and it'll be I thought it'll be a boundary throw-in. Did that
down a little bit today, as you said, Brady? Such a fantastic kick of the ball, but Michael Jamison was strong enough, waited to be slung around in the tackle before getting boot to ball, and that narrows the margin back to less than a kick.
Back in the middle, it's exciting. It's getting very close here as Wantirna South keep coming at Templestowe. Teakle there, wants a free kick.
Gets one.
It's Papa, in fact. Papa. Short pass is on to Bates. See what Sam Bates can do this time. As you mentioned, Frosty hasn't brought the kick-in boots today. He's had a real off day, which is uncharacteristic of him. Ball just holds up in the breeze as he drives it forward. High tackle, pretty obvious one.
I want to give those away.
Wantirna South don't waste any time. They play on. Papa had a flying shot at the goal, but the ball's going to have to come back. The umpire not paying the advantage this time.
Let's quickly hear some around the ground scores with Maddie Vantaragas in Division 3, Maddie.
Alrighty, so Churnside Park is leading Heathmont by 5 points. The Warrandyte are trailing Doncaster by 43. Whitehorse also trailing Baronia by 41. Two big margins there. And Ringwood leading the Basin by 18.
Short pass by Hutchinson was dangerous. Set his forward a hard task. Templestowe managed to force the ball up. And in the end, probably not the best decision there from Brad Hutchinson to go for the short pass. Millard, high kick, up and under. Vankachov, who's been good today, has been lively. Ryan Bain got it to Vankachov. He's off and running now, has a bounce. Little handball back to Bain. Ryan Bain belts it forward. Grasser the target against Phillips. The two number 18s doing battle. Grasser's kick drifts across the face of goal. And Jack Burkett judged it well. Safely holds the mark. Swings the kick out towards this broadcast side where Peter Cale takes it. Untidy handball to Freeman. Back to Cale. Shows a bit of zip. Bit of a burst of speed from Peter Cale. Again untidy by hand though. To Papa. Papa's kick. Bit indiscriminate. Tumbles it forward. It's not pretty from Wantirna South at the moment. Strong tackle there by Chambers. And the umpire Nathan McDonald there right on the scene to ball it up.
Three-quarter time in Division 2 with Maddie Vantarakas.
Alrighty, so we've got Croydon leading Bayswater by 41. The big margin out in...
Couple of spectators from over the fence. He's probably been copping it a bit today for some of his turnovers, but he's kicked a goal at the crucial stage, and that is his first of the day as the free kick goes to the Dockers. It is Jamie Bain. He's kicked straight into the player on the mark then in Leggett. Kick forward for the Dockers. Grass of the target. Still in play. Now over the boundary line just in front of the scoreboard here at Templestowe Reserve.
Jackson Freeman's influence in this last quarter has been really important for Wantirna South. He's provided plenty of run-off half-back and been the third man up in the contest, able to spoil whenever he can.
Boundary throw-in on the deck. Hotly contested footy at the moment.
Know the timing, would you, Matty? But it was an exciting bit of play there for the Dockers on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They moved to 15 goals, 10-100. Wantirna South, 15 goals, 8-98. Let's return to those Division 1 scores.
So back to Division 1, we've got Knox and Scoresby still in that scrap of a game. Scoresby up by 3 at the moment. Roble still got the upper hand over South Croydon by 66, and Vermont trailing Norwood by 4.
Yeah, great goal there from Jamie Bain, and squares the ledger for the day, 3 goals, 3. At his third EFL club, started at Donvale.
He's lively.
Brief stint at East Ringwood just for 1 season, and he's been great at Templestowe, part of their 2010 premiership team. As that seemed to be a throw to Lucciarelli, wasn't paid. Lucciarelli races in and kicks the goal for Templestowe. Great footy from the Dockers. Not sure how legitimate that handball was that set up the goal, but Matt Lucciarelli won't worry about that. He's kicked his second of the day, and Templestowe move on to 16 goals, 10, 106. Wantirna South, 15-8, 98 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's back to an 8-point deficit.
You're dead right there, Brad. It was definitely a throw, but you play to the whistle. If the whistle doesn't come, you keep going, and that's exactly what Templestowe did then. And they've put 2-1 in a minute now to regain the ascendancy in this game. Wantirna South need to dig deep here. Don't drop their heads because this game is far from over.
Riley Beveridge, thanks to Choose Tap.
2 goals in a row within a minute from clearances. They're leading this quarter 9-3 in terms of clearances. Templestowe.
Well, nobody got the clear shot this time, but they'll still get the clearance, though. Templestowe, as they drive the ball up towards the half-forward line. Burkett here to player out wide in Harkness, who takes a bounce. He booked a player. He kicks it up towards the half-forward. Now, I don't know who he intended on kicking that one to, because it was a wall of purple. And so Templestowe across the half-back line. Well, I'll just probably run things down a little bit here in every opportunity. 16 minutes are gone in this final term. The kick goes up towards the wing position. It drifted and it drifted and it drifted, and the umpires paid touched and over. Fiorenza got one bite on it. It looked out of bounds on the fall. I think Peter Baird nearly marked that one. So just in front of us here in the broadcast position, the umpire brings the ball back in now. It fell into the arms of Lipari. Eventually gets a little handball out. That was good play. Lucarelli, quick hands once again. The kick scrambles towards the Fiorenza direction. He's rushed over the boundary line and out of bounds by Jack Burkett, and we'll have a throw in. 17 lines the hands of Bank. He goes out wide, and now the Dockers might have numbers because Sheen was all by himself. Lux of Fortune, Jamie Bain, the ball just landed down his throat. He creates a foot race in for the pig. Grasser gets it across to Ryan Bain, going backwards to go forwards now. Here's Prestigia Como. He'll go to Grasser. He balks one. I'll have a look at the big man move. What a kick it is by Grasser too. It might bounce its way through. It goes to the right-hand side. That would have brought the house down. That would have tipped the ran over, and on minus score is the result on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard to Templestowe. They moved to 16 goals, 11, 107. Wantirna South, 15-8, 98. Let's go around the grounds with Maddie Vadarankas. What have we got for us out there, Maddie?
Oh, we've just got news through Twitter from Will Taylor that Surrey Park, Division 4, are on fire with 5 unanswered goals against Coldstream. So Surrey Park 16-11, 107 to Coldstream 5-15, 45.
Jack Burkett there just overstepping the line as he tried to bring the ball back into play, and it's the cardinal sin, I guess, for defenders. Results in a ball up at the top of the square. Umpire throws it up. Templestowe will be pretty keen just to rush her behind here, or the Devils I should say, to rush her behind. Teakle, they didn't need to though, did it well. Teakle got it to Greg. Lachlan Gregg's long kick to a 2-on-1, and terrific mark by Millard. So Jeremy Millard.
Well, don't bounce it on the way back before you play on.
No, I never know why that isn't called play on. It's
he hasn't got off his mark.
Well, he's bounced the footy. That's play on. So I understand it anyway.
Agreed.
Bates doesn't take possession. Prestigia Como. Little kick around the corner. Bates sweeping handball to Ransom. Under pressure, Callum Ransom is all wrapped up there. And the umpire to throw it up once more. Just outside the forward 50 there for Templestowe, who still hold a 9-point lead. Tap was won by Fieschi. Teakle to Ransom. Hutchinson thinks about a bounce. Now he has one. Launches it forward for the Devils. Plenty of players back there. They take the mark safely at the back of the pack. And Badome was he's judged it well today on occasions, and that was well judged once more. Certainly judged it better than his opponent. Daniel Badome, 3 goals this afternoon. Doesn't waste too much time. He knows there isn't a lot of time left in this game. Badome's kick looks
Great
good
kick
off the boot, and he has kicked 4 goals to match Scott Edgecombe's 4 for Wantirna South. And we're nearly up to time on, and there's nothing in this game. Wantirna South move on to 16 goals, 8, 104. Templestowe 16-11, 107. 19 and a half minutes gone in the final quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
He's really matured into a smart footballer now, Daniel Badome, member of that 2008 Wantirna South Division 2 Premiership side. a lot of footy. He was really aware, though. He had to get up, get that kick off the boot really quickly then, because there's not a lot of time left in this game. Really smart play, and a couple of times today he's done some really clever things.
Riley Beveridge, thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, well, Wantirna South sending men forward, but it's no difference if they don't win the clearance. They're trailing 11-4 in this quarter.
The umpire letting play go in the middle. Templestowe might have the numbers. Ryan Bain lost it. Papa got it for the Devils. Kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Who had the front spot? Jamison was there. He was dispossessed. Charging through was Davies for the Dockers. Had support there in Millard. Eventually gets the handball over the top looking for that man in Davies. Was he going after the ball? It didn't look like it. But the umpire said it will be a boundary throw-in.
Let's just hope the scoreboard's correct today, Ben Waterworth.
So currently it reads 16 goals 11 107 to 16 goals 8 104 here. So the umpire's plucked out a free kick. It'll go the way of Tempe. Crowd screaming for Fieschi. Long driving kick up towards the wing position. It was intended for Grasser. He went after it. Nearly had another go at it. Rushed over by Chris Phillips. Wantirna South over the boundary line, and there's the siren. What a super game out here. It has been at Templestowe Reserve, and it's the Templestowe Football Club getting over the line in the end by 3 points. 16 goals 11 107. Wantirna South 16 goals 8 100. Each side had the lead in different parts of.
By God, the boys went hard, and we had a bit of a fright, especially late when they pinched one with a minute and a half to go, so it was nice to hold on.
Then we have Mitcham next week. Are you going into that one?
Oh, look, we're always confident regardless of who we're playing. We've just got to make sure we prepare well, and, we really rate Mitcham, and they showed on Thursday that they're a quality side, so, we'll celebrate this one, and we'll focus on them as of tomorrow.
Fantastic, get in there.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you very much to Paul Semasides down with a very happy John Brown. We didn't call a game on the media team last year of Templestowe. We'd had a fair crack at them in previous years gone by, but he's a very good coach, and he coaches to a very good structure too, and Templestowe look like they're a pretty good thing this year, Brad.
They do indeed. That was an impressive performance. They led for pretty much the whole game. I think Wantirna South might have hit the front on one occasion, but otherwise Templestowe were always in front. Probably deserved the win, I think, for that reason. And they played some great footy today. And that forward line looks dangerous when with Simon Grasser. It's been a great inclusion, and Fiorenza, who we haven't really mentioned as much, but he looked good today up forward as well.
Well, we're hoping that the Boundary Riders might be able to get another victorious Templestowe player, or go in and listen to the song. So I wouldn't go over and annoy Matt Clark at this stage over with the Wantirna South huddle. We'll stick with the victorious team, boys, because there'll be a happy bunch of players out there. But Riley Beveridge, seen a game from a different perspective today, doing a great job thanks to Choose Tap. What are those final stats? Thanks, mate.
Yeah, it's not too often that you see a side lose the game but win most of the major statistical areas. Wantirna South led in clearances 31-29. They led in inside 50s 51-48. Tackles, they led 54-48, and turnovers was 30-27 as well.
Peter Baird, that's a very even stat sheet across both sides, and of course it's only a 3-point ball game, but it really has shown through too.
It has. There's not much between these two teams, and there had to be a winner, there had to be a loser. Fortunately for Templestowe, they've come up on the right side of the coin this afternoon. But I don't think Matt Clark would be that disappointed. To really take it up to the team that's leading the competition at the moment, I wouldn't be too concerned if I was Matt Clark. They showed glimpses, they showed the style of footy they need to have. There's a couple of things he would have taken out of the game that he can refine and work on, but I think they won't be too disappointed, but I think Templestowe will be absolutely rapt to secure the win.
They'd be pretty rapt having those Bain boys in that side too.
Oh, they were fantastic today, and Matty Bain's run on the wing, on the broadcast side of the ground, was really instrumental in setting them up and driving that ball forward.
Well, they started the season 2013 with straight. Here's the song. Scores out here at Templestowe Reserve today. A super on the home side. 16 goals, 11, 107. Wantirna South, 16 goals, 8, 104. I felt like there was a little bit more to go in that match. All of a sudden, the final siren, Brad, it really just crept up on us.
It did indeed, and it was a pretty short quarter, but it was pretty exciting stuff as well. It seemed to go in no time, and I thought there was probably a bit of time left as well. But like I said, I think in the end, Templestowe deserved the win. They were in front most of the day, and it's good they held on because Wantirna South, I think they would have pinched one if they'd managed to get home in that one.
Hats off to them side as well today, Brad.
Who's that?
Templestowe. I think they looked the better side in the way that they were able to move the ball around the ground today. Wantirna South, it was really only through grit and endeavour that got them back into the game in that last quarter. It wasn't pretty, and I think you called it a couple of times, both of you, during the call, that they were just moving the ball forward, almost rugby style at times, and just putting it on the boot, getting it forward, and really crash and bash the packs and try and win a ball around stoppages. But when Templestowe were able to get the ball in hand, they were able to move the ball much more fluently, get it out in space, and look so much cleaner with their disposal.
So you think it was the clean disposal factor that's got to help Templestowe get over the line today? There wasn't a certain area of the ground where they were on top?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just the cleanness when they were able to use the ball. And when Templestowe were able to minimise their turnovers really hurt them in that first quarter, and at times early in the last quarter, which allowed Wantirna South back into the game, and I think that's something John Brown addressed at half-time, and I think Riley Beveridge's stat sheet actually showed that at times as well, that when Templestowe were able to cut those turnovers and be much cleaner with their ball use, when they were able to cut those out of their game, they were so much of the better side on the day, and that really showed out.
Yeah, in that second quarter where they kicked 8 goals to 1, Templestowe only had 2 turnovers, so that was the crucial factor in that second quarter.
Start thinking of your 3, 2 and 1 gentlemen today. Brad Henderson, myself, Ben Warren Smith and Peter Baird will be doing our votes for the Ferntree Gully Holden player of the day, who wins a fantastic prize to a $100 Visa gift voucher to spend on whatever you'd like, Peter Baird.
Oh, yeah, it's a fantastic prize.
What would you spend it on?
Not too sure. Probably buy some clothes for the family members. So that's probably the best way I'd spend it.
I reckon you could do a Macca's drive-through, one hit. You could do that, Hungy.
Probably cool. One on everything on the menu.
And of course, the Trojan Workhorse Award wins a Trojan Toolkit. Peter Baird will give that honour to your good self this afternoon. And of course, the player not necessarily judged but as the best player on the ground, but someone who a 4-quarter performer throughout the day.
I'll probably, if you give me a couple of minutes to have a think about it, I haven't had a real good look at as to who I actually can give that to. Question without notice there, BWS. Come back to me in 2 minutes and I'll let you know.
Question without notice. How long have you been doing special comments for us, and how long have we been giving out this award for, mate?
We've been giving out a fair while, but just give me a couple of minutes and I'll have a quick look.
I'm giving everybody a couple of minutes at the moment because we're hoping to get some around the ground scores very shortly, and of course get some more interviews down at boundary level. But Maddie Vantarakis, she's got some more scores from around the eastern suburbs. Go for it, Maddie.
Alrighty, so starting with Division 1, we have Balwyn winning over Lilydale by 28 points, 13-19-97 to 10-9-69. East Ringwood trailed Noble Park and they lost in the end by 34 points. Noble Park 14-15-99 to East Ringwood 9-11-65. We had Knox coming away with the win in the end by 3 points over Scoresby in that scrap of a game. In the end, Knox 6-9-45 to Scoresby 6-6-42. And Roval in the end did the job over South Croydon by 70 points. Roval 19-15-129 to South Croydon 9-5-59.
How about in Division 2, Maddie? Is there any final scores that have come through there?
Yep, Bayswater in the end trailed and they lost in the end.
What's funny about that?
No, nothing's funny about that. They lost by a goal in the end, so they came back, and in the end, to their heartbreak, they lost Bayswater 10-10-70 to Croydon 11-10-76. Mulgrave in the end lost to Montrose 19-13, 127 to Mulgrave 8-13, 61. And North Ringwood did the job over Upper Ferntree Gully. North Ringwood 12-12, 84 to Upper Ferntree Gully 8-8, 56.
Thank you very much. Some interesting scores, Brad Henderson, around the eastern suburbs. I saw your eyebrows raise a few times there.
Oh, it was typically exciting Knox game there as a 45-42. That would have been thrilling to be at, that one. But otherwise, yeah, some interesting results. That was a good result there for Croydon by the sounds of it. And Bayswater continue to struggle. Haven't got a win yet to this stage.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care because we think we've got another interview down there.
Yeah, boys, I'm with Jamie Bain. Kicked 3 today, so I'll send him over to you now. You can have a chat to him.
Jamie, it's Ben Warren Smith up here in the caravan. Mate, great performance by the team today. It was a 4-quarter performance. It was difficult conditions out there, but the team's really stuck together.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty windy day, and credit to them, they fought back in the second half, and it was just really good to get the 4 points.
You seem to enjoy the afternoon yourself, mate. You kicked 3 goals and just found yourself in the right spot at the right time a couple of times there and kicked a really telling goal there late in the game.
Yeah, I was lucky to get on end of a few. I mean, I spent a bit more time up forward today. I copped a little knock in the knee early and spent a bit more time down there and just managed to get onto the end of a few, so it was good.
It's good that the side's been able to run out this game, and starting the season off with 3 wins is a great onus to go on and really make something of the season. How has the pre-season been, and have we got close to the stronger side on the park at the moment?
Yeah, we've had a really solid pre-season. I mean, we sort of knew all day if we kept working at it, the game would break open, and hopefully on our big ground we would be able to run on with it. And our legs probably in the end, we got to run on, and it was probably a lot to do with that pre-season and how hard we worked. In terms of our best side, we still got a few out. We've had a few boys pull out this week, but
when's Georgie back?
Georgie, he should be back next week. I mean, he's just had a bit of bruising on some of his part. But it was I don't know. It was hard everywhere today. I mean, I had a few. I reckon I kicked a couple.
I think I said it around the wrong way there, actually, Jamie. It was actually a lot easier to kick them from the club room side of the ground than the coach's box side of the ground.
That's right. Yeah.
What was the message from John Brown after the game to the playing group?
I mean, he spoke about just sort of. Sorry, the boys are giving me a bit of shit here.
You can't say that.
Sorry, boys. No, it was good. John was just said to us, we probably can't afford to concede that many goals every week. So that's an area we need to work on in the coming weeks.
Great to have a chat to you today, mate. Congratulations on your personal performance, but more importantly, the team getting its 3rd win for the season. Good luck for the rest of the year, and hopefully we can call another Dockers victory soon.
Cheers, boys. Thanks.
Thank you very much to Jamie Bain, and a pretty confident, pretty happy man down there in the change rooms. Peter Baird, who's just turned into immature hour here in the caravan, Brad, because Pete's playing with laser guns and all sorts of stuff. Let's throw it over to the big man who knows what he used to do for a living these days. How did you see your 3-2-1 today, Pete?
I gave 1 vote today. It's very rare that I would give 2 of the 3 players best on ground that came from the losing side, but I actually did that today. I gave 1 vote today to Andrew Teakle. I thought he was fantastic. He provided a lot of class and experience around stoppages for Wantirna South. He did the hard in and under things, and he was very smart in the way he used the ball. 2 votes I gave to Jackson Freeman. I thought his ability to zone off, be the 3rd man up in the contest, and be able to run from half-back was fantastic. And I thought he was really important for Wantirna South. But my 3 votes today went to Matty Bain. I thought he was fantastic on this wing, on the attacking side of the ground. His run and carry, his ball use, and his ability to find his brother inside that forward 50 was super, and I thought he was the best player on the ground.
Brad Henderson, your 3-2-1 this afternoon. How did you see it?
Well, a little different from Frosty, but not too much different. I also had a Wantirna South player in my votes, even though they were on the losing side. But I actually gave 1 vote to. I'm not sure if probably no one else will give him a vote, but I thought Jamie Venkachoff was fantastic for Templestowe today, and. Surprisingly, seems to be one of those players who's in and out of the side a lot, and sometimes plays reserves footy. I know when I've seen Templestowe games in the past, sometimes when you rock up early, you see him running around in the seconds, and I don't know why, because every time I see Templestowe play and he's in their senior side, he seems to play a role and do a great job, and I thought he was fantastic today, so I gave him 1 vote. I gave Braden Harkness 2 votes. Just did a mountain of work in defence for Wantirna South. Did all the kick-ins. Gave lots of run and carry. He did turn it over a few times, which I'm sure he'd be really disappointed with, because he's usually a beautiful kick of the ball. But he might have had 35 or 30 kicks today, and probably 5 of them sort of went to the opposition. But generally, he was fantastic. I thought he was with Teakle. Yeah, he was the Devils' best player. And I also gave 3 votes to Matty Bain. Just probably the best 4-quarter performer today. He started off the game really well. He kept going all day long, and it was hard. Like, it was one of those games where I didn't think it was a game where there was one player who was clearly the best ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I thought you got to give someone the 3 votes, and Matty Bain deserved it probably more than anyone else.
He certainly did, Brad, and I've gone somewhat along the lines of yourself. I gave one vote to the man we spoke to only moments ago in Jamie Bain. I thought he presented really well across that half-forward line. He managed to snag 3 goals for the day, but his second and third efforts, it's usually who I give my one voter to on all games that I call, because he just goes and goes and goes after it. And I liked watching clever footballers being at the fall of the ball as well, and he definitely does that well, and he's a hard player, so he gets my one vote today. I thought Tika was good for Wantirna South. I thought Jamison was good for Wantirna South, but I really liked Braden Harkness's game today. Would have gone very close to getting 3 votes if the side had have got up. So he gets my 2 votes. Across that half-back line, he really did create a lot of plays, as Brad said, and although that sometimes disposal let him down, he had a lot of the ball. So, I mean, it's funny, Brad, because once you mention it, we all sprung to mind and went, yeah, of course, he definitely had a great game. So congratulations to Jamie. He'll get a nice Trojan tool work kit filled to the brim with tools. Let's head around the grounds. Well, Ben Waterworth, the scores are coming in.
There has been some unreal results that have come in. Baldwin have kicked 5 goals to 1 to win by 28 points over Lilydale. That was in the last quarter. Noble Park have defeated East Ringwood by 34 points. Heartbreak for Scoresby. They were in front by 3 points at 3/4 time, but have lost by 3 points, which means Knox are 3 and zip, and Scoresby is zip and 3. Roval have thumped South Croydon by 70 points, but here's the one. Vermont kicked 2 goals in 2 minutes to defeat Norwood by 3 points in their 1,000th game.
Wow.
Ash Froud kicking the winning goal, apparently, to
Brash
put them
will have
in
had a
front.
heart attack.
He's so frantic at the moment that he's afraid he might not be able to do his 10 past 5 report at the moment. Croydon defeated Bayswater by 6 points after leading by 41 points at 3/4 time.
What?
So in the last quarter, Bayswater kicked 5 goals, 7 to 3 behind, but still fell 6 points short. Montrose won by 68 points over Mulgrave, and North Ringwood comfortably defeated Upper Ferntree Gully in the end by 28 points. In Division 3, Heathmont have won their second game in a row. Defeated Churnside Park by 6 points. The Panthers can't take a trick. Here in our radio game, Templestowe holding on for 3 points, an absolute thriller. Doncaster, great win over Warrandyte by 35 points. Still haven't heard from the Wildles, Pioneers and Baronia. Get your scores in. And Ringwood have held on for their first victory of the season over the Basin, winning by 12 points.
Oh, great game.
In Division 4, Canterbury was serviceable today. South Belgrave only beat them by 39 points. The Eastern Lions and Nunawading played out a thriller with the Eastern Lions, the Lion King, winning by 5 points. And Phil Merton's been frantically texting me from Forest Hill. The Zebras led by 31 points at 3/4 time, and they've lost by 4 points in the end. Sylvan kicking a goal in the last couple of minutes to win by 4 points. Surrey Park have defeated Coldstream by 56 points. They are real deal in Division 4.
Look out.
And Ferntree Gully are also the real deal. They led by 16 points at 3/4 time. They ended up winning by 55. So Ferntree Gully are
Sets up a
undefeated.
fantastic round 4 clash between the heavyweights of Division 4, Surrey Park and South Belgrave next week.
Yeah, it'd be very, very interesting. But some amazing results just waiting on the Wildest Pioneers and Baronia. There you have it.
Oh, thank you very much to Ben Waterworth. Well, there's some really interesting results, and we're lucky enough between 5 and 6 to have plenty of around-the-ground reporters out there this afternoon, and probably 4 of those games, those tight games as well. So make sure you stay tuned between 5 and 6 with Barry Cott, Ray Baird and Braden Ingram. It's time to say goodbye to the team who's joined us this afternoon. It was a ripper game, a 3-point margin to Templestowe. Let's start with the boys on the boundary line. He's the secretary of Templestowe, also a